Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. President Draupadi Murmu reaches Angola on the first ever visit to that country by an Indian head of state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Uttarakhand to mark the state's 25th Foundation Day. 1,400 flights cancelled on day 2 of US government-mandated flight cuts amid shutdown. Syria's President Ahmed al-Shara begins US visit. It's the first visit by a Syrian leader since the country's independence in 1946. And D. Gukesh crashes out of the Chess World Cup. R. Pragyananda, Arjun Erigesi, Pentala Harikrishna and Pranav V progress to round 4. In a growing sign of India's deepening engagement with Africa, President Draupadi Murmu, the first ever Indian head of state, arrived in Luanda, the capital of Angola, on the first leg of a two-nation visit to the continent of Africa. Foreign Minister of Angola received President Murmu at the airport. This trip holds immense importance, especially as India and Angola mark the 40th anniversary of their diplomatic ties this year. President Murmu will be addressing the Angolan Parliament and interacting with members of the Indian diaspora during her visit. From Angola, her next stop will be the neighboring country of Botswana. Prime Minister Modi is visiting Doordarshan, the capital of Uttarakhand, to participate in a program marking the 25th anniversary of Uttarakhand's formation. During the visit, the Prime Minister will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of various development projects. These projects cater to several key sectors, including drinking water, irrigation, technical education, energy, urban development, sport and skill development. The Prime Minister will also release a support amount of 620 million Indian rupees to more than 28,000 farmers directly into their bank accounts under the PM Fasal Bima Yojana. He will also launch a commemorative postal stamp to mark the occasion and address a gathering as well. And President Murmu has extended her heartfelt greetings on the 25th anniversary of Uttarakhand's establishment. The President, in a social media post, said that Uttarakhand has made an unparalleled contribution to the country's glorious spiritual and cultural journey. She further said that over the past 25 years, the state's diligent and humble people have created new dimensions of modern development. And Prime Minister Modi also extended his greetings on the 25th anniversary of Uttarakhand's statehood, praising the Himalayan region's accelerated progress in tourism and other sectors. Prime Minister Modi will be on a two-day visit to Bhutan from the 11th of this month. During the visit, the Prime Minister and the King of Bhutan, Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, will inaugurate the 1,020 megawatt Punat Sangchu 2 hydroelectric project. The project is jointly developed by India and Bhutan. The Prime Minister will attend the celebrations dedicated to the 70th birth anniversary of the 4th King of Bhutan, Jigme Singye Wangchuk, and also meet his counterpart, Shering Tobgay. He will participate in the Global Peace Prayer Festival and offer prayers to the holy relics at Tashi Chozong in Thimphu. In a significant moment of spiritual and cultural exchange, the sacred relics of Lord Buddha have reached Bhutan for an 11-day public exposition as part of the Global Peace Prayer Festival. A delegation led by Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment, Dr. Virendra Kumar, carried the relics on an Indian Air Force aircraft from New Delhi to Bhutan's capital, Thimphu. The relics enshrined at the National Museum in New Delhi will be placed for public viewing at the Quinray Hall of Tashi Chazong, one of Bhutan's most revered monastic and administrative centers. The exposition, being held from 8th to 18th November, coincides with the 70th birth anniversary of Bhutan's fourth king, Jigme Singye Wangchuk. Bhutan's Prime Minister Shering Tobgay expressed gratitude to the Indian government and Prime Minister Modi for facilitating the visit, calling it a gesture of deep friendship and shared spiritual heritage. This marks the second visit of the sacred relics to Bhutan, the first being in 2011 during the royal wedding celebrations of King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk. Campaigning for the second and last phase of the Bihar election will conclude on Sunday evening local time. In this phase, polling will be held on the 11th of November in 122 assembly constituencies spread across 20 districts. More than 3.7 crore voters will decide the electoral fate of 1,302 candidates, including 136 women. On the last day of campaigning on Sunday, senior campaigners and top leaders from the NDA, the Opposition Alliance and other parties are scheduled to address several public meetings and election rallies across the state. Sitamarhi, revered for goddess Sita, is all set to vote on the 11th of November. It's a constituency where women empowerment remains a key focus as the region too worships goddess Sita. DD India's Deepika interacted with the women voters to understand the poll dynamics this time around.
Women have always been the key focus for development here in India. And when it comes to elections, especially in Bihar, this is also the center of focus this time. In Sitamarhi, the focus is again on women and their empowerment. Let's now talk to the women power of Sitamarhi and what exactly do they want this election.
बिहार में मैं बिल्कुल चाहती हूँ कि बदलाव आए। यहाँ बिहार के लोग जो बाहर जाके नौकरी ढूंढ रहे हैं, उन्हें बाहर ना जाना पड़े, वो अपने बिहार में आके काम करें। रोजगार के लिए जो परेशान है सब, यहाँ पे फैक्ट्रियाँ बनवाएं, यहाँ पे लोग काम करवाएं, तो यहाँ पे लोगों को बाहर नहीं जाना पड़ेगा। महिलाएं भी यहीं पे पढ़ेंगी।
सभी लड़कियों को ये इधर ही रहना पड़े, पढ़ाई के लिए बाहर ना जाना पड़े, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग यहाँ पे अपना करे काम।
So Sitamarhi, famous for goddess Sita, is the place where women demand more job opportunities, more employment opportunities, better educational facilities and more opportunities that can help in avoiding migration. This is Deepika reporting with camera person Manmohan from Sitamarhi, Bihar.
The Prime Minister's office announced on Sunday that next generation goods and services tax reforms have reduced rates on several handicraft items from 12% to 5%, giving major relief to artisans, traders and consumers. The cuts cover statues made of wood, stone and metal, along with paintings, handmade candles, wood-carved products and kitchenware of clay and terracotta. This initiative aims to bolster the handicraft sector, preserve cultural heritage and stimulate economic growth by making traditional products more affordable and competitive globally. The Prime Minister's office also shared an insightful article by Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia on Sunday, reflecting on his recent visits to Meghalaya and Assam. Minister Scindia describes the Northeast's majestic landscapes and cultural vibrancy, portraying it as Ashtalakshmi, embodying 8 forms of prosperity. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision, the region emerges as India's growth engine and a natural gateway to Southeast Asia, blending tradition with innovation and resilience. The piece in the Hindustan Times newspaper underscores how the Northeast transcends its frontier status to become India's forward face, fostering connectivity and sustainable development. The Indian Air Force is all set to stage a spectacular air show over the Brahmaputra in Guwahati on Sunday, marking the 93rd anniversary of the force. The flying display will be held from 12:30 to 2 p.m. local time, allowing people to enjoy the spectacle from both the northern and southern banks of the river. The event will showcase the precision, professionalism and prowess of the IAF, offering citizens a rare opportunity to witness the nation's aerial might up close. The lineup will feature some of the IAF's most advanced aircraft, including the indigenous light combat aircraft, the Tejas, the Rafale and the Surya Kiran aerobatic team. This year's Air Force Day celebrations revolve around the theme of infallible, impervious and precise, underscoring the IAF's commitment to operational excellence, resilience and precision. The Indian Army's Western Command announced on Sunday that Kharga warriors from Meerut's Ram Division executed a high-tempo river crossing exercise, validating mechanized flotation and bridging techniques. This operation underscores the critical role of speed, lethality, precision and synergy in contemporary warfare, enabling forces to overcome natural barriers swiftly. The exercise dispels notions that waterways hinder military advances, positioning water as a traversable asset against adversaries. Under the Kharga Corps, these drills enhance operational readiness along India's western frontiers. The Additional Directorate General of Public Information announced that the 11th edition of exercise Mitra Shakti will take place from 10th to 23rd November at the Foreign Training Node in Belagavi. Indian and Sri Lankan armies will enhance joint operations in urban and semi-urban terrain, fostering defense cooperation, mutual trust and regional peace. The annual event alternates between the two nations. Last year's edition in Sri Lanka involved Rajputana Rifles and Gajaba Regiment personnel sharing counter-terrorism tactics. On the occasion of National Entrepreneurship Day in India, focus is once again on the talent and achievements of Indian entrepreneurs. From small-scale businesses to unicorn startups, targeted reforms by the government have played a key role in improving ease of doing business and creating newer opportunities for the youth. Here's more.
National Entrepreneurship Day is celebrated annually on November 9th in India. The nation has taken decisive steps to make it easier to start, run and grow a business. From digital single window clearances to large-scale regulatory cleanups, the focus is on creating a predictable and supportive business environment. These changes save time, cut costs and inspire confidence among entrepreneurs and investors.
पिछले 11 साल में एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, उद्यमशीलता को बहुत बड़ी ताकत मिली। आज लाखों स्टार्टअप्स टियर 2, टियर 3 सिटी में देश की अर्थशक्ति को, देश के इनोवेशन को ताकत दे रहे हैं। उसी प्रकार से मुद्रा योजना से हमारे देश के करोड़ों नौजवान, उसमें भी हमारी बेटियां, करोड़ों करोड़ों लोग मुद्रा से लोन लेकर के अपना खुद का कारोबार कर रहे हैं। खुद तो अपने पैरों पर खड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन औरों को भी पैरों पर खड़े रहने की ताकत देते हैं। वे भी एक प्रकार से हर व्यक्ति को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने का अवसर दे रही है।
India is now the third largest startup ecosystem in the world after the US and China. There are over 1.9 lakh startups in India today. These startups have generated more than 17 lakh jobs. India holds 39th position in World Competitiveness Index 2024. Over 400 schemes support female entrepreneurs. India is the fourth largest economy in the world and is fast moving towards the next pedestal. The nation's development journey is energized by the aspirations and achievements of its entrepreneurs. Bureau Report, DD India.
Still to come on DD India Live. US President Trump recommends abolishing Obamacare and redirecting government healthcare spending directly to individual Americans. In tennis, Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz to face each other at the ATP Finals. And a novel theatrical show captivates audiences in France.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration reports that 1,460 flights were cancelled on Saturday, the second day of mandated reductions at 40 major U.S. airports amid the ongoing federal government shutdown now in its 39th day. Thousands of other flights faced delays with air traffic control staffing shortages affecting 37 towers and centers including Atlanta, Newark, San Francisco, Chicago and New York. Ground delays averaged to about 4.7 hours at Atlanta. The shutdown has furloughed or unpaid 13,000 controllers and 50,000 security screeners, prompting 20 to 40% absenteeism. The cuts rose to 6% last week and will be 10% by 14th November. Meanwhile, the Senate Majority Leader John Thune has noted positive bipartisan talks towards temporary funding with a planned Sunday session. U.S. President Trump on Saturday urged Senate Republicans to abolish Obamacare and redirect federal health care spending directly to individual Americans. Trump, in a Truth Social post, wrote, and I quote, "I'm recommending to Senate Republicans that the hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent directly to the people so that they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over." He added, "In other words, take from the big bad insurance companies, give it to the people and terminate per dollar spent the worst health care anywhere in the world, Obamacare," unquote. The post marks Trump's latest push to revive his long-running campaign against the Affordable Care Act, dubbed Obamacare, a centerpiece of former President Barack Obama's domestic legacy. The Congress remains deadlocked over government funding, with healthcare programs and insurer subsidies among the major budget sticking points fueling the shutdown. Syria's President Ahmed al-Shara arrived in Washington, D.C. on Saturday for a historic official visit, the first by a Syrian leader since 1946. His arrival comes a day after the U.S. removed him from its terrorism blacklist. Shara, who led rebel forces to overthrow Bashar al-Assad's last year, will meet President Trump at the White House on Monday. The two leaders first met in Riyadh earlier this year during Trump's regional tour. U.S. officials expect discussions on Syria joining the U.S.-led coalition against the Islamic State. Washington, D.C. also plans to establish a base near Damascus to oversee humanitarian aid and regional developments. The State Department said delisting al-Shara acknowledges Syria's progress towards stability and political reform. Ukraine is struggling to restore electricity and heating after Russian drone strikes crippled its energy infrastructure. State energy firm Centrengo said the country's power generation capacity had fallen to zero. The attacks disrupted electricity, water and heat supply across several regions, including Kiev, Donetsk and Kharkiv. Nationwide power cuts lasting 8 to 16 hours were announced as repairs continued. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha said Russian drones targeted 2 nuclear power substations in western Ukraine. He urged the UN nuclear watchdog to act, warning that Russia was endangering Europe's nuclear safety. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change announced that the 30th Conference of the Parties, known as COP30, will commence on 10th November at Belém in Brazil. The United Nations Climate Change Secretariat released its latest quarterly update ahead of COP30, detailing progress across critical areas of global climate action. The report covers advancements in mitigation, adaptation, transparency, Article 6 carbon markets, climate finance and engagement with non-party stakeholders, including businesses, cities and youth. It also highlights the work of regional collaboration centers supporting developing nations in implementing climate strategies. 3 major reports issued last month assessed national adaptation plans, updated nationally determined contributions, and biennial transparency reports providing essential data for negotiations. These milestones underscore the preparatory momentum leading into the November 10th conference at Belém in Brazil, where nations aim to strengthen commitments and secure finance for a resilient, low-carbon future. Global weather updates now. Typhoon Fenghuang, locally named Uban, has intensified towards super typhoon status. The Philippines Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration reported that with winds of up to 185 kilometers per hour, the typhoon is predicted to make landfall Sunday night local time in eastern Philippines. The typhoon has started affecting the municipality in the Philippines. The typhoon spans 1,500 kilometers, already causing heavy rains across eastern provinces. Up to 200 millimeters of rainfall risks floods and landslides in Bicol and Samar. Evacuations are underway in low-lying areas with marine activities halted. This follows Typhoon Kalmeji, which killed 204 people in the Philippines and 5 in Vietnam and displacing thousands. The Philippines evacuated more than 100,000 residents from eastern and northern areas as Super Typhoon Fenghuang is strengthening. Highest alert signal number 5 covers southeastern Luzon, including Catanduanes and coastal Camarines provinces. Metro Manila faces signal number 3. Sustained winds reach 185 kilometers per hour with gusts to 230. Over 300 flights are cancelled. Power fails in eastern Visayas. This follows Typhoon Kalmeji, which killed 204 in the Philippines. Like I said before, 5 in Vietnam. To sports news now. 4 Indian grandmasters have advanced to the 4th round of the FIDE World Cup in Panji city of Goa. While reigning world champion Gukesh was eliminated in the 3rd round after losing a 2-game match to Denmark's Fredrik Swain. R. Pragyananda defeated Armenia's Robert Hovhannisyan. Arjun Eragesi, Pentala Harikrishna and Pranay Venkatesh drew their matches to move into the 4th round. 10 Indians had made it to the 3rd round of the championship, which is being played as a single elimination knockout tournament. Indian shooters kicked off their World Championship campaign in style by bagging 4 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronzes on the opening day of the competition in Egypt. Army shooter Ravinder Singh won the gold in men's 50-meter pistol event in Cairo. The 29-year-old Ravinder Singh, along with Kamaljeet and Yogesh Kumar, helped India win a silver medal in the team event. The women's 10 meters air rifle event, Olympian Elavenil Valarivan also picked up 2 medals by striking bronze in both individual and team categories. India have sent a 40-member squad for the championships, including Olympic medalists Manu Bhaker and Swapnil Kusale. World number 1 Yannick Sinner and his closest rival Carlos Alcaraz are set to headline the ATP finals beginning in Italy on Sunday. Both players aim to cap their seasons with the prestigious year-ending title. The ATP finals will feature the top 8 players from the season competing in 2 round-robin groups. The tournament will conclude on the 16th at Turin. The two rivals, currently vying for the world number 1 spot to end the year, expressed excitement and determination ahead of the event. Before we close, in Calais, northern France, thousands gathered to see the travelling Varan, a huge moving creation by La Machine theatre group. The magical show lit up the streets with music, lights and excitement, turning the city into a festival of wonder. Take a look. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. You may wish to scan the QR code that's now on the screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.